Hello, welcome back to Awful Movie Reviews.
Gentlemen, this is the man we've been waiting for.
The year 1959, another year in the decade that was the golden age of science fiction, but by that time the genre was starting to run out of steam. Even though countless movies were being released, there were a lot of them that were truly awful. Films like Plan 9, The Giant Gila Monster, The Killer Shrews, and another one is The Atomic Submarine.
Which adds up to what, Syrian?
With all honesty, not much really. For a few years, I grew up on a heavy diet of 1950s sci-fi B movies. I've seen a lot of them, and yet I had barely heard of this one, so there must have been a good reason. After viewing this, I found out why. This low-budget production does nothing to distinguish itself from the rest of the countless other films of its kind released during that same era. It's some of the most generic and bland stuff I've seen from that time period.
Wonderful.
Now, this Alex Gordon production is not as bad as the films I just mentioned, which may seem as a relief to some, but if it made it on this channel, then you know it's bad enough.
I don't like it. I mean, this is almighty funny.
But just before we get going, if there's a bad movie you would like me to review, just leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts and feelings on The Atomic Submarine.
This whole deal is making less and less sense to me.
Alright, let's get to the bottom of this. What is so atomic and submarine about all of this?
Any comments on that statement?
We certainly do get a lot of submarines. This movie is filled with stock footage of those things. Not only that, but also of ice caps crumbling, ships sinking and blowing up. I would have found that cool if those were the original special effects provided by the movie's team. But no, this is cheap stock footage because the crew couldn't afford anything better looking than this silly little model submarine. It's kinda charming to see it swimming around like that, but still. A crew of army generals and scientists are sent down into the freezing Arctic waters to investigate a series of tragic accidents. American ships and submarines keep blowing up, and the culprit can never be found.
Well, anybody got any ideas?
Well, who knows? Maybe it's a coincidence, or a sea monster, something like that.
It's not an intelligence on Earth. Perhaps it's an intelligence from beyond the Earth.
I love it how in some of those movies, people that call themselves scientists just jump to these kinds of conclusions so quickly.
Undersea flying saucers.
Oh man, this just keeps getting better. Who is writing this stuff?
We've asked ourselves that over and over 1,000 times.
Just so happens that our scientist is right on the money. There is a flying saucer swimming with a one-eyed alien aboard it. They have found the culprit.
Then this is a flying saucer.
No, it's a fucking hot dog. The crew can't seem to neutralize the target. None of the torpedoes are working. It seems that the saucer cannot be destroyed. So what does our great scientific mind come up with? They literally torpedo themselves into the saucer hoping to destroy it. And now they're stuck and sinking down to the ocean floor.
I didn't know better.
No, I bet you did not. The Atomic Submarine suffers from different things. First of all, the alien is a little bit disappointing. It kept us waiting to see what the invader looked like. I was hoping more for aliens like the ones in Invaders from Mars or This Island Earth, but for this one, we see it for 10 minutes, but it doesn't really do much apart from moving its tentacles around. Another letdown this movie has is the real lack of interesting characters. Everyone here is superficial, and basically all the characters on the ship could mold into one single person. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
That's about it. Now, you know as much as I or anybody else does, for that matter.
Oh yeah, this is also one of those films where they just felt the urge to have a narrator state to us the absolute obvious, just in case we wouldn't get it.
Skipper Wendover made the first notation in the log.
Thank you, narrator. What would I do without you? Getting back to the writing, the dialogue can sometimes be pretty cringe, some lines making me raise my eyebrows a couple times.
It won't take me long to defrost. Not around you.
That would make our little green men actually little green fish.
And a weird shot where the cameraman is filming Joy Lanson's feet.
Well, I've seen stranger things happen. Happens all the time.
Nothing strange about that. I will end this review on a positive note, or will I? There are a couple cool scenes where characters are melted by the alien's nuclear power. I wasn't expecting a movie like this to show this kind of rather graphic stuff for the time, but those sequences are too few, far in between, and not nearly enough to make up for the rest, which is just really silly and immediately forgettable. So yeah, honestly, nah, I'm not impressed. What an awful movie.